Okay, let's dive right in. Today we're exploring something pretty fascinating, how we can use natural processes, specifically microbes, to turn waste into really valuable stuff. We're looking closely at one solution called Terreplenish. We've got a good pile of info for this deep dive, some YouTube transcripts showing it in action, website details, a press release about a partnership. The works. Our goal, simple. Let's unpack what Terreplenish is, figure out how they make it, how it's used, and pull out the most, well, interesting insights for you. The core idea here seems pretty powerful. It's about using live microbes, green waste, and it does more than just hip farms. Some surprising stuff. Okay, let's get into it.
Absolutely. So from what we've gathered, Terreplenish is described as a proprietary organic microbial solution. Think of it like a concentrated cocktail of beneficial bugs, basically.
Right, and what exactly goes into this cocktail?
The sources say it's a mix of these live active microbes plus green biomass. And a key thing they mention is it's OMRI listed.
Ah, OMRI. That means it's okay for organic farming, right?
Exactly. Big deal for organic growers. It positions it as a natural alternative to chemicals. And the mission they talk about is all about providing high-quality, environmentally sound products, focusing on sustainable regenerative solutions, especially for soil and water.
Okay, this next part really caught my eye. How do they actually take green waste, like, grass clippings, plant stuff, and make this microbial powerhouse?
Yeah, that's interesting. The process they outline, especially the YouTube stuff, uses these things called easy fen modular systems. So not like huge central plants, but systems they can set up locally, maybe in co-ops or other facilities.
Modular. So adaptable.
Seems like it. And the benefit they stress is efficiency. It's about quickly turning that local green waste into a high-value regenerative resource right there.
That really hits that closing the loop idea we saw mentioned. So process it locally. You skip the long truck trips hauling waste somewhere else, right? And you avoid it just sitting in a landfill and making methane. Instead, that green stuff quickly becomes this pathogen-free microbial concentrate.
Yeah, that localization seems key. It's not just making a product, it's creating this local system. Nearby farmers or whoever needs it get access to affordable, high-performance soil help or water treatment right from their own community's waste stream.
Okay, so let's dig into the main use. Agriculture. Soil health. What do the sources say Terreplenish actually does for plants and the soil?
Well, the materials consistently point to how it revitalizes soil biology. It helps reestablish the good microbes, the beneficial microflora that healthy soil needs. And doing that, they say, reduces the need for chemical fertilizers and pesticides. It strengthens the plant's own defenses, its immunity, and offers natural disease control.
And you can actually see it. I remember reading about the food plots. Treated areas looked greener, thicker, just more alive compared to the untreated ones. That seems like pretty clear visual proof.
It does. And they back up that visual difference with some specific numbers in the materials. They claim it provides a nitrogen credit of about 45 to 60 pounds per acre.
A nitrogen credit. Okay, what does that mean practically for a farmer? Like less fertilizer needed?
Good question. Yeah, essentially, it suggests the microbes are helping make nitrogen that's already in the soil available to the plants. So the farmer might be able to cut back on adding nitrogen fertilizer by that much. The microbes are sort of unlocking it. They also mention it frees up 15 to 20 pounds of P2O5 per acre.
P2O5, that's phosphorus, right. And legacy phosphorus, does that mean it's phosphorus just sitting there tied up in the soil?
Exactly. Phosphorus from maybe past fertilizing. But it's not in a form the plants can easily grab. The idea is the microbes help convert it, make it usable. The sources state that it happens, freeing up that nutrient.
Okay, unlocking existing nutrients. Makes sense. What else?
Another really big claim is supporting up to a 25% reduction in irrigation needs.
Wow, 25% less water. That's significant. Especially, well, everywhere these days.
It really is. And tied to that, they say it provides for 125% of the water retention in soil. This links right into that water-smart farming idea from one of the videos. Better water retention means less water needed, plus less runoff and erosion.
These numbers sound great, but, the real test is what growers actually see. The material mentions it's been tested quite a bit.
Yeah, validated on over 100 different crops, they say. A really wide range, too. Sugarcane, rice, corn, sorghum, African cucumbers, broccoli, cannabis or hemp, fruits, vegetables, lots of examples listed.
And we saw some specific stories from growers, didn't we? Like Katie Warren with African cucumbers. She said the cucumbers didn't just weigh more and get bigger, but they actually tasted better. That's interesting. Quality, not just quantity.
That taste comment is interesting. And then there's Ron Doich with broccoli. His results were pretty stark. Treated heads averaged, over 3 pounds? compared to just about half a pound for untreated.
Whoa. From half a pound to over 3 pounds? That's a massive difference.
Huge difference. Translates directly to yield. They calculated it as equivalent to like 4.65 tons per acre organically.
Incredible. And J.J. Chico with medical cannabis also saw big improvements.
Yeah, said the plants were stronger, pushed through problems better, and the harvest weights and quality were superior. Even mentioned using it as a foliar spray, spraying the leaves, knocked out powdery mildew.
Powder mildew is a tough one.
Right. So these specific examples really highlight the impact across different plants, different problems. It suggests it's doing more than just adding NPK. It's boosting that overall plant and soil health, helping them handle stress naturally.
Okay, so powerful stuff for soil. But now for a bit of a twist. The sources show it's not only for dirt, right? What's the other big application?
Correct. The materials also spend a good amount of time on its use for water remediation, cleaning up ponds and lakes specifically. They're targeting that common problem of excessive surface growth, algae blooms, duckweed, that green sludge that can choke a pond.
And they use the same core tech, the microbes.
Exactly the same. The description is that in the water, these live active microbes just naturally reproduce and basically eat the excess algae as their food source continuously.
So instead of dumping chemicals in the water to kill the algae, which can cause other problems,
Right.
you're using biology to kind of rebalance the system. That sounds much better.
That's definitely presented as a major advantage.
Yeah.
A natural biological approach versus, caustic chemicals.
Mm.
And they list places using it for water cleanup, hospitals, schools, golf courses, recreation areas, places where you probably want to avoid harsh chemicals anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it was interesting that Wayne Landry, the guy who used it on sugarcane,
Mm-hmm.
he also talked about getting good results cleaning algae from his customers' ponds. That connects the two uses nicely.
It really does. Shows the versatility, right? The same basic microbial action working in different environments.
So we've got these two main uses, agriculture and water. How does this stuff actually get out to people? Let's touch on the business side mentioned in the sources.
Okay. Well, the press release really focuses on a key partnership. A company called Organic Living Soil, LLC, is now the exclusive dealer and warehouser for Easy Environmental Solutions. That's the maker of Terreplenish, covering Louisiana and Mississippi.
Okay, so that's how they're distributing it in that region.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Wayne Landry, the grower we just mentioned, he's actually the managing partner at Organic Living Soil. His own extensive testing over 2 years, apparently, helped prove it worked well for the specific crops and conditions down there.
Ah, so he tested it, saw it worked, and now he's helping distribute it. Makes sense.
Seems to be the story, yeah. And Mark Goldswick, the CEO of Easy Environmental Solutions, is quoted too. He talks about the huge need for both soil restoration and water cleanup and positions Terreplenish as this effective, environmentally sound alternative to potentially dangerous chemicals.
Right, offering a different path.
And this partnership looks like a key step for them, for Easy Environmental Solutions, to expand their reach. Their base was originally described as being more in the Midwest.
Got it. Expanding outwards. All right, let's try and pull all these threads together. We've covered a lot. So what's the big picture from this deep dive into the Terreplenish sources?
Well, putting it all together, Terreplenish comes across as this microbial-based organic product. It's made by transforming green waste, which is pretty neat. And the sources really push its significant benefits for, one, boosting soil health in agriculture, better water use, potentially better yields, and two, providing a natural way to clean up ponds and lakes by having microbes eat the algae.
Yeah, the core benefits highlighted seem to be less need for chemical inputs, building healthier soil that holds water better, and this biologically friendly way to tackle water quality issues.
And the sources consistently frame it all as a sustainable approach. Regenerative, even fitting into that circular economy idea waste, becomes a resource.
And connecting this back to you, the listener, this look at Terreplenish is really a concrete example, isn't it? It shows how we can harness these natural processes, these microbes, to deal with real environmental challenges in farming and water. It's kind of an aha moment about regenerative thinking, seeing waste not as garbage, but as, well, feedstock for something valuable. So based on what we've explored today, taking local green waste, using microbes to create something valuable for farms and water, maybe chew on this. If that kind of local waste can become a resource that cuts down on chemicals and cleans water naturally, what other waste streams out there could we look at differently? Could we transform other things locally? What could that mean for creating resources in our own communities, finding decentralized solutions, maybe moving towards truly circular systems? Just something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.